Welcome back to the Pilates Exchange. We're so happy that you're here. My name is Hannah Teutcher, and I am with my husband.
Hello, I'm back again. My name is Christian. Hello, everyone.
we so this podcast is all about teaching and teaching of Pilates, other movement methods, how they inform each other, science, and the business of teaching. And we decided that we're going to take a little bit of a break of our normal programming because we have some lots of exploratory topics coming up about Pilates teacher training, things that we're going to get back to in just a little bit because we got some current events. We are going to be visiting for the second time the FIBO. What is that? Good question. It is the the fitness and bodybuilder convention, and it is the largest in Europe. We visited last year and just wanted to sort of give some impressions about what that was and how it was. And we are visiting it this year, and so hopefully we'll bring back some ideas for you guys to share. Right, Chris?
Yes, it's was really interesting being for the first time one of the largest one in Cologne, seeing the um, where I don't know how many how many steps we have done and stuff. That was pretty interesting. And also what I like about this one, because normally I believe the FIBO opens the upcoming Friday, but the day before they open it to the public, business people have the chance, or business only people have the chance to go there to visit and see before the public what's going on. So we also decided to do that. So that doesn't mean it's less busy. It's going to be still quite a lot of people, um, a lot of distance to cover walking from one to the other hall. And we just also decided the last time that we make like a little plan on our phones in which hall we went. So each of them, they have a number from 1 to 12 or something like that. So we can keep track. I also had a little plan on my phone. So seriously, you get lost and then you
So
have to always look where
yeah, so
where to
let's
go.
actually
And
let's take a step back and sort of explain what it is, so it makes sense for anyone who hasn't been to one of these big convention centers. So, the point of these, I believe, I think there's actually bigger ones in the world, but this one is a really important one for the European market. And there's companies from all over the place, and it's not just fitness and bodybuilding, but it's pretty much anything that it's related to wellness and fitness and bodybuilding, from manufacturers of Pilates equipment to normal gym equipment to supplement companies, clothing companies, software companies. What else is there? Bodybuilding. They have competitions, bodybuilding competitions right in there. They have fitness competitions that are right in there. It is pure madness. I think that they say 100,000 people go through there.
I think so. And they also have on the day the official opening, they also have a high rocks event right
Hmm.
in there,
Yeah, I mean
which
it's bonkers. So what Chris was saying is that the day before it opens up to the public, people that are professionals within this field get early access before they open it to the general public. And so for studio owners and trainers and yeah, for why ever you think that you could have a professional reason to go, then you can purchase a ticket to go in there. It is not free. It is a paid ticket. Also not cheap, but it is an interesting place to, like, they have educational elements. This time I don't think we're going to be watching any. Well, maybe we'll see what we catch. But each day has sort of a different program that's going on.
yeah, they
Yeah.
also had like network. You can do networking, get in contact with other companies, and there.
Yeah.
But we didn't last year. We didn't participate in this ones. We just walked around to
Yeah.
get an overview, what's going on, and meaning our first time. So that was already, I think, quite enough. I
Oh
think
my
we
gosh, it
covered
was,
like 6 or 7 kilometers we've done just in there.
and it
It's
was
massive.
it's
Yeah.
massive. I have to say, it was completely, absolutely overwhelming. Actually, we were sort of like talking about if I was going to talk about this or not, but I had a panic attack like literally, that's something that I deal with. But we walked into the unknowingly into the bodybuilding part of it, and it was just bonkers. Like so many muscled out men that are like 5 times my size. So just walking around all greased up, techno music everywhere. I love me some techno, has nothing to do with that, but it was
It's
so
really, yeah.
loud. You
Yes.
couldn't even talk. And I'm a very, very small person. And like I couldn't even see through the crowd. We had to like go through a side exit so I could catch some air and sort of calm down. It was I don't like crowds anyway, so this is like beyond what I really like to do.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it was also quite warm and
Yeah.
dusty, and the
Oh yeah.
walls were black.
Yeah.
There, I was just like, just to give you a little idea, and I wanted to say one funny thing about the bodybuilders, these big, really massive people. To see them like from close is just like insane. They also have like kind of shows and things, but we decided not to stay into the hall where the bodybuilders were. But the funny thing is, you have like little corridors where you walk in between these little stations or whatever. They have their food and things, or like little things you can try. These bodybuilder people, they don't get out of the way. They just walk straight through the crowd. And if you don't pay attention, you just looking to the right, to the left, like one of these Christmas market, you just get run over. I had to jump to the side once because there was this big man standing in front of me. I was like, oh wow.
I have to say that much confidence is pretty impressive. I
Yeah,
aim
no,
to be
it,
that confident
it was expected of everyone else to
to
step
move.
to the side
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
space, because of course they take space for 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
I mean, our two little
It was,
bodies.
it was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
And then
it
that
was funny.
state that's in like complete contrast to like the Pilates area. And if I understood right, last year was the first year that they had a whole area that was completely dedicated to Pilates. So I'm expecting, and it was pretty big. It wasn't as big as the other maybe halls that they have. So each hall I would say is like, gosh, I don't know if it's the size of a soccer field, but it's pretty darn big, I would
I
say.
think we'll probably say bigger. Looks more or less sometimes like a terminal or in the airport.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
some maybe there would be, you can compare it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the last year the Pilates one was huge, but not as big as I expect it to be this year. And in the, we're maybe you're asking yourself, well, do I have to go to these things or why? Like, I don't, I don't think it's, I think they're very interesting and we were just going out of curiosity. I don't think that it's necessary for every Pilates studio owner to go. I mean, especially like for our level, Chris and I are this, our location and what we're doing. We're really just, we're looking for trends. We're looking just out of curiosity. Cologne is not that far away from where we're at. It's not that expensive for us to get there. Is it worth it to fly all the way across the world to go to this? You have to be really clear about what you're trying to get out of it. But for us, it was really interesting to meet owners of different companies, had some couple interesting conversations, and really it was more about, I think, getting inspired, right, Chris?
Yeah, I think also for inspiration, and then what I wanted to add, the reformer or the Pilates equipment section was in the wellness section,
Yeah.
and there was one of the most quiet places
Yes.
on this convention, which I really liked. It was like they had it next to physical therapy tables, massage tables. You even tried one of this massage mattress, if you remember,
Oh
which was like
yeah.
kind of extremely expensive, but we just wanted to try it just because. And I like this one because it's a completely different atmosphere in there when you come from this bodybuilding, pumping, loud techno music. Everyone wants your attention, and then coming into this little, let's say, peaceful, quiet, let's say, much smaller little reformer or equipment section, which was really interesting to see that what kind of different brands they are, from whatever they come from all over the world, different Cadillacs, different chairs, different. It was like, I've never seen, for example, a Cadillac with the hole in there where you normally sit or train or stand, and that was just
So okay, let me be clear about that
yeah,
because I know what you're talking about. Is that there was
yeah.
a Cadillac that actually I think it was a Cadillac Reformer combo. I want to say there was even a chair built into it, and then there was a hole that was in it, and we are like, "What the heck is that hole in there?" And it's for also massage, so that you can put your face down and get a massage on the Cadillac as well.
No,
So multi functional piece of equipment.
yeah, I remember I was standing next to you. I was like with the elbow, like kind of, Hannah, what's that? I've never seen a hole in that, kind of like maybe I missed something. But again, it's like everything is possible if you want to use it for massage and training people. But
No,
really,
not
really interesting
not
what
for
what
us.
um what it's out there, and like also the sizes of Cadillacs and Reformer were interesting to see. There were just bigger ones, smaller ones, different
Yeah,
colors.
yeah. And so this is something that I think is an interesting point because in all the different owners groups that I'm involved in, there's a lot of discussion that goes around because I don't know if it's your email inbox is as inundated as mine is with different manufacturers from all over the world, and they could sell you a reformer at like a quarter of the price as some of the other names. So like this is a place where you can see a lot of the other manufacturers of these pieces of equipment. And it's an opportunity to try them out, because it is quite scary if you decide to go for a brand that is not recognized. What is the quality actually going to be like? And I'm not making any recommendations on any of these pieces of equipment, but we will go and just kind of feel out how it is. There's a big, vastly different type of quality from what we saw last year of the type of equipment of reformers that are on the market, from very, very flimsy to, of course, the big brand names that are there, which are like the leaders in that.
Yeah, but yeah, for example, then you can talk to the people. You can probably, I think, also negotiate. If you just open a studio, then you can get 10 reformers for the price of 8. I don't know, for example, I assume. And you can also, if you're not familiar with the brand, but you like the price, for example, because you have a limited budget, you just can also try them out and talk everything about what you need to know. And
Yeah.
it's like really interesting to see what's out there right now.
It is interesting to see. But as a side note, we in our studio we have a fairly large recognized brand for all of our equipment. So we do not have any experience on some of these other smaller brands and cannot make a recommendation there. Because we have had people ask us on Instagram, like, oh, okay, what do you think about this or that? I can't say that I have any recommendation because we just haven't taught on it. And I think when you are owning a studio and you're counting on thousands of people, over the course of time, having their bodies on that piece of equipment, you really want to make sure that it's a quality piece. And that's why we can't do a recommendation. But we'll see what this one offers, like what we learn there.
And I also
Go ahead.
what I remember, I think in the wellness Pilates equipment section that you could also take classes. They also not only have equipment like stability chairs or reform or Cadillacs, or they also had like little other tools, spine correctors, and the newest things.
Oh
Or
yeah,
I don't know. They always come up with different names, but different tools. So you could take classes specific with that new tool, which they probably want you to buy for your studio or to offer it to your people,
yeah,
which is also you can take class there, I believe. Yes.
yeah. And have an audience of people watching, right?
Yeah, I don't know how it works with
Yeah.
is there's a
So they,
dressing room or something like that, or you just
no,
come with your
yeah. I
clothes.
mean,
I don't know.
that's not really probably the thing. I think it's they're just demoing some stuff. But
Okay.
yes, you are right that there's movement experiences that are there, and they are all in the public. So basically people would be watching if you wanted to do that. That's also, I wouldn't say it's a major driver of attending this. Mostly I would say that the positives of going to this convention would be to look at what the innovations are, um, get some new energy, some new inspiration, maybe make some connections like we did, meet some
Meet
people,
some people. Yeah.
and then people that we haven't seen in a while. In the German Pilates world, we got to catch up with them, and I'm expecting some faces there that we already know, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I think
I,
it is
I was.
interesting to
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, continue just after. Yeah.
I think it is interesting, though, when you are in such a big, overwhelming experience to really hone down on, because I think there's so many inspiring things, and you think, oh, I could do that, and I need to know this, and that you really have to rein yourself back in and look for what is it that I really want out of this experience? Like what fits my mission, vision, and values, before like buying new things or new trends or it's like a very trend, it's good to be on top of the trends, but not to get swept away, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone is always trying to jump on the train and try to be the first one on this one, but this
Yeah,
is what
there's a lot of hype and sometimes not so much substance to what's going
yeah.
on.
Yeah, that brings me to what I wanted to say before. I actually expect the Pilates equipment, especially the Reformer section, to be much bigger this year,
Yeah.
since Reformer Pilates has such a big hype right now. So I believe that more brands will be out there, will just showcase what they have. And there was also one other thing. I was going back a little bit to this bodybuilder, like the gym equipment, all these machines you can buy. I was just like so amazed how many different kind of brands you have. And in the end, I kind of look like a reformer, not look like a reformer, but the reformer, they're different brands. But in the end, you have the carriage, you have the straps, you have the shoulder pads, stuff like that. The same thing you have for gym equipment if you want to do your flies or your bench press or whatever, your squats and things like that. What's interesting just to see what kind of different colors you can get. If you want to open a gym and you don't know what kind of equipment you need, you can look at all this equipment at the FIBO. And and there was another hole, and there was another brand, and I didn't see this one before, and then this one, and then you can get it in pink and green and yellow. I've never thought about it, how many pieces and things you can have there. It's just, I was amazed
Yeah,
by it.
it really is. It's really, really overwhelming. Um, and like I said, it's very hard to when you're looking at all the bright shiny things that are there, to stay focused on what you are doing, especially if you're on the owner side of things, like to stay focused on what you're doing. How does this serve your clients? What is trends I think are interesting to follow, but there's so much speed to some of these trends, and the industry moves so fast, maybe too fast, that these trends they really cycle out, and they, as quick as they go hot, then they die out. So there's tools that are there, methods are emerging, but I don't know if it's really an evolution or if just a lot of people are chasing the novelty of it. Does that make
Mm.
sense? I just wanted to take a quick break and say thank you to Offering Tree for sponsoring this season's podcast. Running a Pilates business means juggling, scheduling, payments, marketing, and so much more, and Offering Tree really does get it. They've built an all-in-one platform for Pilates professionals handling scheduling, payments, marketing, your website, and so much more. What I love is that they're not just a software, they're also providing community and educational resources, supporting you every step of the way. Plus, there are no annual commitments or pushy sales tactics. For listeners of our podcast, you get 50% off your first 3 months or 15% off the entire year at offeringtree.com/Pilates Exchange. That's offeringtree.com/Pilates Pilates Exchange. Spend less time on admin and more time on teaching. Again, offeringtree.com/Pilates Exchange.
Just to, yeah, it's like also
Yeah,
the fitness industry. I just call it. I just give it this overall name for it. It's also jumping on hypes. What they pick up, what
yeah,
probably comes from social media, that someone or a celebrity did something, and then they're like, oh wow, now everyone has to do it, and then all of a sudden it's a trend, it's a hype, it's the direction everyone needs to go.
yeah.
Not saying that it's the right direction, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like always, this has been like this for years and years. So let's see how see what our feeling is this year. But aesthetics are still driving the most of what I see. So I think that what I mean is like the body image, the performance visuals, the marketing, the all of that is where you see a lot of these companies are selling to, and that's not what that doesn't align with our methods and our vision for what we want to do and what we want to teach. But it's all out there, and I think it's all valid, but that's just not what we do. But it is interesting how I'll be interested to see where I think that this year there's the theme is more longevity, isn't it? I
Yeah,
think
they
so.
also like they also, from what I read on the internet about it, is they also want to implement AI, how it
Yeah.
can help you with physical therapy and training with AI and things. I'm gonna be curious to see what they came up with and what the future is going to be, and if they make sense or not. I don't know.
So my hope out of this is to make a couple of contacts so we could get them on to the Pilates Exchange so that we could interview them, because I'm really interested on what these companies think that what is AI going to do for us, and who thinks that it's going to replace teaching. I for one do not, because I believe that that connection is so incredibly important. But like, how is AI going to support our needs as teachers? I'm sure that there's a lot of interesting interesting new developments. So I think that's where something we can bring back for you guys to see what's out there. um yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it will be interesting then to see, because we are definitely going to do a follow up and going to tell you what our vision, or what we saw, what the newest trends are going to be, and where it's
Yeah,
going to lead us. But I'm really curious about the AI,
yeah,
what they, like you said, what they come up with, if it's going to be helpful, if it's not going to be helpful, what it's going to be. But it's
yeah.
going to be interesting.
Especially since tech is growing. So we're going to be on the lookout for what do we think about that? What trends do we see? We're going to bring that back to you. I can say, just in before we even get there, I think it's going to be interesting to then decompress this one with how I really truly believe that your experience that you're creating in your classes and your training is going to be all the much more important, especially as tech becomes a bigger role in this whole space. So how are you creating the atmosphere, the surroundings that's there? what how does that support the teaching that you're doing? Not and like, we've had many episodes where I don't think it's a performance, but I do think the experience matters. Yeah,
Yeah, it's still, the difference is there's still a big difference in between a human and a computer, I believe.
100%, 100%.
But
So
that's a different topic. Yeah.
totally different topic. So what we're going to be looking for is things that we feel might actually improve teaching. We're going to be looking for things that support long-term health. What's just marketing? What kind of trends do we see? Well, reporting back with what we believe aligns with our values. I think that if you guys are listening to this podcast, we probably have a pretty similar mindset in there. Um, yeah,
Let's see what the scientists came up with. Maybe there's some new research. They're probably also gonna present that to us,
yeah,
because each year I have the feeling something else, another research comes out which says to do this one is a bit better than do the other one. And
Hmm.
I'm really curious. I'm gonna go in there with an open minded. I'm probably going to leave the bodybuilder section relatively fast behind us. Nothing against bodybuilding. I really, it's also, I like to look at the muscle groups and the muscle men or women can build. It's amazing to see it, but it's for me not mine. I'm probably going to go relatively fast to the wellness section because it's quiet there. I will
Yeah.
have to. I'm gonna make myself a plan, and we're probably gonna bring some good shoes and water, and let's see, some snacks. So we're gonna be
Yeah.
fine, because last time I was like, good shoes are important if you're on your feet the entire time. Yeah.
You know what, Chris? Let's make a promise that we're going to make some reels because from just so you guys get an impression of how the craziness that's there. Can we put that on our to-dos? Like just a
I
quick
mean,
overall, a couple video impressions of what's there.
we
Let's
can
do it.
we can do an Instagram live for like a couple of
Oh my,
seconds if you want, just to see what's going on.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Maybe I think it's actually too loud to do that, but maybe. But we will put some videos together because I think it'll be fun for you guys to see that.
Yep.
Um, do you have some closing thoughts before we spend our time in Cologne?
No, no, I'm my like I said before, I'm excited, I'm curious, I'm open. I bring good legs with me so I can stay there for, last time was like 6 hours. I'm gonna be open-minded. I'm just gonna have a looking forward for some nice conversations, maybe for some loud music. Maybe there are some little things we can try here and there, some little snacks, some little new
Hmm.
trends. And I just try to um my teacher in school, I translated into English, said you have to, I'm gonna eat breakfast with my eyes.
That's a good, yeah. Get lots of inspiration and
Yes,
we'll report
yes.
back to you. If you do see us, if you see us at the FIBO and you are coming around, please say hi to us. We love that. Um, so because we love when people are, yeah, don't be shy. We're around.
Yes, yeah,
All right, you
definitely.
guys. Then we will be back in a week. We are going to bring all the new things that we can find, so that you have maybe we can inspire you with from what we've seen. Then we're going to go back to doing some good questioning about teacher training in general. We've opened up a big can of worms, um, and I'd like to, like always, continue the conversation there. We did have a couple of really nice, interesting conversations with people that the last episode specific sparked about teacher training. And I just want to be clear, this isn't about bashing any one thing, but it's really to start some good questioning about how things have been going, how they've been done, what do we want to change, what do we need to push for the longevity of our own careers. Yeah, that's it.
Definitely. Yes. Then we're gonna tell you more next week.
All
Until
right.
then, I'm gonna say my bye byes. Bye bye.
and, and I'm wishing you a happy teaching, everyone. See you in a week. Stay in touch. Bye.
Bye.